and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah. Inside, bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow, the promise, the future, and life. Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world. Light, let the dawn of a new day bring understanding and love. Oh, inside, yeah.
Oh, Silver G, welcome. Thank you for the hot me. How are you today? Please help send the live. Asantiwa, I see you. Welcome. Happy Thursday.
Let the light that's within me shine to the whole world, whole world.
Free kills. Thanks for joining. I see you. Oh, wow. You are welcome, Hoxie. I see you. User 5258. B Counting, welcome. God's Creation, I see you. DJ Collins, welcome, welcome. Good evening, everybody. Good evening. I hope our week has been good. I hope our day has been good. Welcome.
The promise, the future, and life.
Estereo, I see you.
Let the light that's
So Keisha, welcome, welcome. Ify Study, I see you. You're welcome. How are you today? Thank you.
Oh, inside, inside.
Good evening, good day, good morning, good afternoon, or good night, wherever you are. Thanks for joining Insight with FunmiRoyal today. You are welcome. I see you, Ify. Thanks for liking the live already. You're welcome. I hope your day has been good. Yes, here it's 4 minutes past 8 p.m. in the night. I want to believe some of us are still awake. Thank you so much, Ify. You're welcome. I hope you're going to stay because I have this interesting topic we're talking about today. And it's a topic that, even though it sounds like Asian history kind of a thing, but it's still very much around, very, very much so. And we know the Gen Zs of today, there's a lot going on. Are they still in support of this? Do they still practice this? Or have you found yourself in this? Has it paid off or is it paying off? Is it been good so far, or you have some challenges here and there? I mean, normally on Thursdays I talk about marriage relationship, but we all know whatever form of marriage relationship we have or we find ourselves, it comes with its good, bad, and ugly. So we just have to learn to manage it. And that's why I always come here. Let's talk about things, especially topics that people normally would shy away from. Let's talk about things so that we can find ways of coping I learn from you, you learn from me, we learn from each other, and hopefully we have a better marriage relationship. So welcome once again, guys. My name is FunmiRoyal. Welcome to this live broadcast today. And please just do me a favor as you're there watching now. Click on your screen and send to as many people as possible. I want to hear from everyone, really. It's all over the world. Good evening, Ify. I trust you're good. This topic cuts across every culture, every race, every tribe. So it doesn't really matter where you are in the world. I want to believe this practice, it's in all of the nations of the world, if I can put it that way. Ola, I see you. Thanks for joining. You're welcome. Ola, help share to as many people as possible. Thanks for joining. I see you, Samere. Thanks for joining. Oh, thank you so much. Thank you for sharing the live. I really appreciate that. So the topic today is, as you can see on the screen, arranged marriage. Quite a topic, really. Quite a topic, but it's always good to talk about these things. Like I said, some people find themselves in it already, and they might, maybe have some challenges. Are they blaming whoever arranged the marriage, or they're blaming themselves for, succumbing to it or to accepting it and all of that? So I just want us to look at this topic, break it down some more. Let's talk about it. If you have a good experience of it, I really want to hear from you. The topic is arranged marriage. Honey Blinks, I see you. Thanks for joining. I hope you're good today. Thank you so much. Help share the live to your friends. Let them be part of this talk. And some people might have marriage on their plan or in their plans or on their mind, and maybe they just don't know how to go about it, and they feel, okay, I have this very good friend. I don't mind you arranging, someone. Some people, like I said, even the Gen Zs probably practice it. Like I said, it also depends on the culture. Yeah, good evening. How are you, my dear? I hope you're good. So it depends on the culture, the race, different cultures do it differently. But let me say, it's here to stay. It still exists, even though it's a very, very old tradition, way of husband and wife getting together. Miss Mendes, I see you. Thanks for joining. Help share the live to your friends. Let them be part of this talk today. And also really want to hear from people who may have found themselves in this, who want to hear from you, want to hear your experience of it. And I have one or two I'm going to share, from friends or colleagues that I know of, and yeah, let's go into the talk today, because I want to finish as quickly as possible my talk, and then we can come up and talk about it some more. And what's your take, what's your opinion about it altogether? You might not even find yourself in it. You've heard of it, arranged marriage, you've heard of it. Have you really thought about it? Do you think it's a good practice and all of that? Beatrice, thanks for joining. I see you. So let's go into it. This topic, like I said, it plays a significant part of so many cultures across the world. Arranged marriage. Thank you, Honey Blinks. Thank you. So arranged marriage is a practice where the family of the bride and groom play a central role, in selecting a suitable partner for their child, sometimes with and sometimes without the consent of the individual getting married. So like I say, it's a cultural thing. Some culture are kind of lenient, some culture it's like bam on it. Whatever they bring, you just have to accept, kind of a thing. So this practice has deep historical roots, and while it may seem outdated to some people, because some people, like, they don't want to hear about it, especially maybe children from such homes. When they grow up, they're like, no, my parents, maybe they arranged them to meet each other and get married, but not me. Just Bevy, lady, you're welcome. Good evening. I hope you're good. So, tradition, I mean, culture to culture, it varies. But we're going to explore this concept today. Its cultural significance, the advantages and challenges, and how it compares to other forms of marriage. Like I said, there's so many kinds of marriages. People meet, even now, people meet on social media and they get married, you know? I mean, it's one of those crazy ways that people get to meet. And you have some whose marriage are thriving because they met online. And you see some, they meet face to face and they're married, and their marriage is not something to write home about. So everything kind of varies. You never can tell, you know. So we're going to be breaking this down. But today, my focus is on arranged marriage. What's your experience of this, if you have any, and what's your take to that ideology altogether? What's your take about it? Mama Lola, I see you. Thanks for joining. So let's look a bit into the historical and cultural significance, because it's very important, like I said, to some cultures, and they still practice it till today. You know, they're proud of it. They do it. Arranged marriage, they do it, you know, proudly. So arranged marriages have a long history dating back thousands of years. There were, and in some cases still are, like I said, some people are still practicing it, a way to maintain social order, as it seems, ensure family alliances, you know, the Joneses and the society wants to marry the other Joneses, kind of a thing, you know, family alliances, making sure the wealth stays in the family and all of those kind of talks, and also preserve cultural and religious traditions. Some people, because they're from this culture, they want their child to marry somebody from the same culture, so they would arrange marriages for their children, you know, and some would not even require their consent. Whether you consent to it or not, you just have to do it. You have to obey the traditions, or so to say. Arranged marriage. So in many traditional societies, marriage is not just a union between two individuals, but a merging of families, wealth, and social status. You know, Blackie, welcome. As such, the choice of a partner was considered too important to be left solely to the young people who are aspiring to get married themselves. I mean, who might, you know, be seen as being driven by fleeting emotions rather than practical considerations. Because they'll tell you, if you're married from that culture, how are you so sure you guys will get along in the end? You know, how this, you know, they will make you see every negative to it, especially the culture that still practices this norm till today. They will give you reasons, 1,001 reasons why arranged marriage is the best for you. God helping us all. And again, cultural continuity, if you look at that, arranged marriages have been a way to ensure that cultural, religious, and social norms are passed down through generations. You know, some particular tribe, they're so kind of preserved. They don't want other tribes to come and mix and everything mix, and then their own tribe is lost somewhere, you know, in the crowd. So they want to maintain it. So in fact, the farthest they will go is the next village to get a wife for their son, or to get a husband for their daughter. Razi, I see you. So by marrying within the same community, the same caste, families maintain their cultural heritage and their religious beliefs, and that's the belief anyways. And another aspect I'm going to look into is the economic and social stability that people seem to find in arranged marriages. So it's not all that bad, in fairness. Guys, it's not all that bad, because when I was doing a bit of search here and there, I just found out, oh, okay, some people are still keen about it, so it's not totally bad. Some might just feel, oh, I want freedom, I want to choose the person that I love, this and that and all. It's all good, don't get me wrong, but I just want us to talk more about it. And if it's beneficial, if you think it's beneficial, I want to hear from you. But if you think, oh, it's outdated, nobody does that anymore, let's hear from you as well. So the economic and social stability it brings. So historically, marriages were often arranged to secure economic stability. merge resources or solidify alliances between families or even nations. Some will say, my child, if you bring home, I'm an American, you have to bring home an American. If you bring home an African or an Asian, we don't want that. So we'll arrange an American person for you. And it's like they don't have a choice. They just have to, because they believe they want to preserve their culture or their tribe or their norms or whatever it is, or their social stability. My son is a lawyer. Sometimes it could be professional, what do you call it, influence or affluence, or whichever one you want to pick. Oh, our son is a doctor, so therefore he has to marry a doctor. We'll arrange another doctor and they will get married. Some see it that way. Some might feel, oh, I'm the son of a tycoon, my parents are going to arrange another tycoon family's daughter to be my spouse. So yeah, they don't have a clue who this person is. All they know is their family is going to arrange from family to family or from culture to culture. They're going to arrange it and it's fine by them. So again, family involvement. You can't do this without a family. The family has taken over. When you hear of arranged marriage, mostly has to do with families. So in many societies, the family unit is seen as a cornerstone of social stability. Involving the family in choosing a partner is a way of ensuring the marriage will have the support and blessing of both families, and then which can be crucial in societies where extended family play a major role in daily life. Like I say, a son of a tycoon marrying another son of a tycoon, or a daughter of a tycoon, or a very influential person in the society want their child to also marry another very influential person in the society. So it depends, it varies, reasons varies, family varies, culture varies, the reasons why they engage in arranged marriage. But whatever the reason is, people are still getting involved in it, people are still practicing this. And I wonder really, because I had to look for the advantages and the disadvantages, like you would do any normal marriage relationship as well. And I was amazed, there's some good qualities of an arranged marriage, which I found kind of insightful. Yeah, very insightful. Just Bevy, thanks for liking the live. Thank you. So, but arranged marriage, it kind of takes some processes. It's a bit different from the normal traditional way of man meeting woman and getting to know each other and all of that, but this is different. So let's talk about the process of arranged marriage. It might not be the same way what I'm going to say now with every culture. Like I say, it differs from culture to culture or from people to people. So but just in a nutshell, for you to have an understanding, it takes a process. So the process of arranged marriage can vary widely on the culture and the level of involvement from the families. However, there's some general overview which you would commonly see in most arranged marriage, as in the process. So the first is selection of the partner. So the process often begins with the family searching for a suitable match. So you that you're ready to get married, in fact, just sit down, cross your legs, your family will do the work for you. So you don't have to sweat, oh, will she like me, will she not like me? Because the family are up to the task and they will do this. So criteria such as caste, religion, social status, education, family background are typically considered. They will look at the way their own family is and they want people to match their family, so they will go into such like-minded families and get their children to come and matchmake with you, so to say. So in some cases could be professional matchmakers, community leaders, or online platforms may be involved in identifying potential matches. Sometimes they might say, oh, the princess of this kingdom, will be good enough for our prince. Online, I'm telling you, they check online and then they kind of arrange. The family are up to the task, so they cannot be the one to select the partner for their child or for their son or for their daughter. And again, meeting and interaction Not all cases does this happen, because I've heard of many years ago. I worked in a company and I had this Indian friend, and he said, "Oh, guess what, for me, I'm going home to get married." I'm like, "Oh, he never told me he had a girlfriend." He said, "No, no, no. It was on the wedding day he was going to meet her for the first time, and then they'll be married." I'm like, "Are you not scared?" He said, "Oh, no, 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 this is tradition." He was so like happy. He was so okay. I'm like, wow, I wish I had that guts. I'm like, no, I don't know this person. Imagine on your wedding day, you will now meet this person you spend the rest of your life with. Gifty Williams, I see you. It's amazing, traditions, the things we still do. It's funny, but I mean, this is life matter we're talking about. So meeting and interaction sometimes happen, but not in all cases. But however, if it happens, so once a potential match is found, the families usually arrange a meeting between the prospective bride and groom. Like I said, sometimes it happens, not all cases. In more traditional settings, this meeting might just be brief, and the couple may have little opportunity to interact before the wedding day. So it might just be very brief, and that's it. You just get a glimpse of them, and that's it until the wedding day. Sometimes it happens like that. Gifty, good evening. Thanks for joining inside. Please help share to other people. Thank you so much. One Love, I see you. So, however, in modern arranged marriages, there is often more emphasis on allowing the couple to get to know each other before making a decision. So, like I said, it varies from culture to culture. And then because of modernization, they kind of stepping it up a bit. Okay, they give the couple to be maybe a week somewhere to get to know each other, ask each other questions, but that doesn't mean they're not getting married. So whether they like each other within that week or not, it doesn't matter. They just are giving them that chance to know each other, whichever way they plan. I mean, the wedding plans is set already, so they're still going to go ahead with it, And then the third process is decision making. Thank you so much for liking the live. Thank you. Let's share to our friends to be here. So decision making, in some cases, the final decision lies with the families, while in others, the couple has the final say. So like I said, in a more modernized arranged marriage, if the couples, maybe they go off somewhere a week or a few days, and they say, we're not compatible, I don't think I'm ready to do this, they'll come back to their families and say, look, no, we're not having it. And families, they are obliged, they have to oblige their decision. And some family, it's no, don't worry, whatever it is, the family is there to support, we'll sort it out. So we're going ahead with this wedding, whether you like it or not, kind of a thing. That's the bit that doesn't really sit down well with me. But Yanks, nice to have you here. You're welcome. Good to see you again today. So the level of consent required from the individuals involved, can vary significantly. Some might be given the chance to choose, even though it's the family that have arranged this marriage. Some might not get the chance to choose. Like I said, some is just a glimpse. Some will not even see their spouse until that day, the wedding day, and they're going to both walk out of their husband and wife. That is crazy, but it happens. So in some cultures, the marriage proceeds only if both parties agree, while in others, family pressure may play a larger role. They'll be like, okay, we've given you both chance, but just for formality's sake, for you guys to just know what he or she looks like. Other than that, they're not even asking for your approval. They're not asking for your consent. They're going ahead with it. So except you now elope or not even elope, if you now run away or abscond, that's a different thing altogether. So one of the last process of arranged marriage is engagement and wedding. So once both parties agree, for example, the engagement is typically followed by wedding preparations, which are often elaborate and steeped in tradition. You will see, like, in fact, when you get there, you don't even know who is doing what. Both family, from the bride, from the groom, they have so escalated the whole ceremony. It's like, in fact, it's like the couples, they don't have a choice, just attend. All they need is your presence. You come, the bride, you the groom, come, we will sort out everything. And then you see this elaborate wedding. You didn't even know, you didn't choose your colors, you didn't choose nothing. Everything has been planned by the family. So the engagement and the wedding kind of caps it off. And the wedding itself is usually a major family and community event. So you're not even in control of how many people will attend, how many people is gonna come, dignitaries, what have you. The family have sorted everything. So it's amazing. And you find out that some people 40 years on, they're still married, and this, happens to be an arranged marriage. And then some you find maybe 10 years down the line, they go their separate ways. So it's the same, I guess, with normal man meets woman kind of relationship. So advantages of it, I'm going to share with us, because I like to balance things. Like I said, I found it. Even me, I'm intrigued, but I'm like, okay, let's see. I wish I could do like conduct a research. If your marriage is an arranged marriage, we invite them, to do this research and find out from them, are they happy in that relationship? Did the family choose well for them? Things like that. And then we can, gauge the percentage of who's happy, who's not, who feels it's okay, who will do it over again, and things like that. So despite some criticisms, arranged marriages can offer several advantages, I gathered. The first one is family support. So one of the strongest advantages of an arranged marriage is the backing of both families. The family, they are like there, like backbone. It's like you can't tell them no, because they are there waiting. So this support can be vital, especially in the early years of marriage, when the couple is adjusting to their new life together. So imagine you haven't met your husband before, you haven't met your wife before, but your family arranged such that you're now married. It was on the wedding day. You see how tall they are, how fair they are, who they are even. Don't have a clue. Their favorite color. Do they like chocolate? Do they like flowers? Is he athletic? Or they don't know nothing about each other, because the family, have arranged it. But they said, the family is always there to support them, especially in their early years of marriage. So that's one of the advantages, family support. And another advantage I found out is cultural compatibility. Like I said earlier, some culture, they want their children to marry from the same culture. So you have cultural compatibility. So since families often prioritize cultural and religious compatibility, arranged marriages may lead to fewer conflicts related to differences in traditions, beliefs, or values, because they have the same beliefs, the same norms, the same principles of life, the same values of life. So they cannot gel together. So not that this person from another culture is bringing in totally something new, and they having conflicts agreeing to way of life or values and things like that. So they believe this is an advantage, cultural compatibility, because they have the same traditions, the same beliefs, and the same values. So I guess it makes life easier. And again, third one I'm going to mention is practical considerations. So arranged marriages often take into account practical aspects such as economic stability, education, and social standing, which can contribute to a stable marriage. My child is a doctor, I'm going to look for another doctor. They complement each other, they speak the same professional language or whatever. Or it could be that in the economy, they are business owners, so they bring another business owner to marry each other. So it depends really, but they say this, practical considerations, because they both speak business languages. So this will kind of help them in their marriage. So they have a stable marriage. So I gathered how good. These are the advantages. And another one I'm gonna say is reduce pressure of finding a partner. This one made me giggle a bit. So for individuals who may find it difficult to meet potential partners on their own, maybe introverts, I don't know, let me not stigmatize anyone now, if they find it to meet partners on their own, arranged marriages can relieve the pressure of searching for a spouse. Just like I said, my colleague at work, he was so happy, like, oh, guess what, for me, my parent found me a wife. And I'm like, do you know her? No. Have you seen her before? No. And you're so excited. Yes, yes, it's tradition. I think he said maybe his parents, his parents also got together because of arranged marriage or something. So it's a tradition. He was so excited. I could not understand the excitement. Like, how would you marry somebody you don't know on the wedding day, Ganga? That's when he's gonna meet this person. And I'm like, my head could not, understand it. But you could see the excitement. He was excited. He was happy. And of course, when he came back, he took a while before he came back. And when he came back, you could see he was so happy, telling us about the wife, this and that. He found out this. I'm like, wow, it really suits. It's been many years ago. I hope they're still together. Anyways, that's my joy for him. So you can imagine. So there's still advantages to it. And now I want to talk about the challenges of arranged marriage. This is a way of balance. Of course, there's always good to everything. There's always bad to everything as well. But it's what we do with it that makes it important or significant. So challenges of arranged marriages. However, arranged marriages also come with their own set of challenges, such as the normal meets boy meets girl, normal face to face, okay, I love you, you love me, let's get married kind of a thing. They have their own challenges as well. So there's nothing so peculiar about this. It's just the peculiarity for me is the arranged thing, and not even meeting this person until your wedding day. I still can't get over that. So one of the challenges an arranged marriage will face is lack of personal choice. Yeah, lack of personal choice. So one of the primary criticisms of arranged marriage is that they may limit the personal freedom of the individuals involved. Personal freedom to choose who they love, to choose, because some people, they might be average height and they want a short person to marry. But I don't think the family will put that into consideration when they're arranging, for their child to get married. They just want maybe some same cultural background or same economical background, whatever it is. So such things, it doesn't happen in an arranged marriage. Whoever they choose for you is whoever you're going to get married to. So the choice of a life partner is a deeply personal decision, and some people may feel that they have not had enough say in the process. So it's like, because the family is insisting you have to marry this person, they cannot refuse, they cannot reject, they just have to go along with it. Thank you, One Love. Thank you so much. Another challenge is pressure to conform. Pressure to conform. So in some cases, individuals may feel pressured to agree to a match to please their families, even if they have reservations. Some people, their intuition is very strong. Even on that wedding day, they're meeting this person for the first time and they just feel something like they don't want to go ahead with it. It's like they don't have a choice. They just have to conform. They just have to go ahead with it. So that's one of the challenges of not having freedom to choose, freedom to say what you feel about that situation. You just have to comply. So that happens. So even if they have reservations about the suitability of that partner, they just have to conform. It's too late. They can't do nothing about it, and this can lead to resentment or unhappiness later in the marriage. And then if anything goes wrong, oh, I blame my family, they arranged you for me. Or I blame your family, they arranged you for me, they arranged me for you, Any little thing, you start blaming the family instead of you guys to look inward to see what exactly is the issue. So that is another challenge, pressure to conform. Then another challenge is emotional disconnect. It's very important. I can't imagine, maybe it's not everyone you see you want to kiss. It's not everyone you see you want to hug, as in, be in a relationship with. But when it's an arranged marriage, whether you don't even have a choice. On the wedding days when you're meeting your spouse, and they now get to part of the ceremony where, okay, you may kiss your bride. That's the first time you don't even know whether you're going to like it. You're not emotionally connected to this person. But because your family have arranged for both of you to get married, you don't have a choice and you just have to. So arranged marriages may sometimes result in a lack of emotional connection if the couples do not have sufficient time to get to know each other before the wedding. So this can lead to difficulties in building a strong, intimate relationship. Imagine that first night after the ceremony, they expect you to go off maybe on honeymoon. You're going on honeymoon with somebody you barely know, somebody you're meeting for the first time that day, and then you want to share intimacy with this person. My own mind, maybe because the way I grew up, my own mind really cannot process. I'm sorry. That honeymoon night, I doubt if anything would happen, to be honest with you, because I will have 1,001 questions I want to ask this person. I have to grow into them to know them, and there's a possibility I might not even like them as a person. I'm sorry to say, I might not really connect emotionally. What happens then? What would the family do? So these are kind of challenges that couple may face when they, are in an arranged marriage situation. Again, another challenge. Yeah, thank you so much. Let's invite our friends. Another challenge is changing social norms. Changing social norms. As societies modernize, there can be a clash between traditional arranged marriage practices and contemporary values of individualism and personal choice. This can create tension within families and communities. You find out that they're from the same culture, but you find out that as life is advancing, technology and all of that, the same culture, part of that same culture, they're kind of advancing and probably living certain old cultures and things like that. But they feel, oh, they're still part of the same culture, the same society, and now they whisk you off together. Oh, go and get married. And then you find out that some personal choice from my culture is not the same from your culture. And then they wouldn't even understand that each culture has kind of evolved to something different to one another, but because they're in the same community, they feel, oh, we're still the same culture, the same. I hope this is making some sense to us. So this can cause some rifts, in an arranged marriage relationship as well. It can create tension, within families, and they find out that didn't you look well before you picked this person from that family? We don't have the same social norms. We don't have the same this. We don't have the same that. And the families will be wondering, but then it's done already because you're already married. And now you're discovering all of these things. So it can be a problem as well. So without leaving us, floating, I have to say this. Arranged marriages versus love marriage. Let's kind of, weigh it out a bit. It's important to compare arranged marriages with love marriages to understand the broader context of this. Remember when I was giving the talk earlier, I mentioned about normal man meets woman. I like you, you like me, I love you, let's get married kind of a thing. But arranged marriage is whether you like, you don't like, you have to marry, most cases. So let's look at the two in a broader context. So love marriages, what is it about love marriages? In love marriages, the individual choose their partners based on mutual affection and attraction. So the relationship typically develops naturally over time, and the couple decides to marry based on their emotional connection. This is the love marriage relationship we're talking about. So while love marriages prioritize personal choice and emotional fulfillment, they may face challenges related to family approvals, cultural differences, unrealistic expectations of romantic love. So because they've chosen each other, in fact, you find out that you are from Asia, I am from Europe, kind of a relationship. But they've come together, they met each other, they love each other, they like what they see. But along the line, of course, some cultural differences can play a major role in them. So that love had better be real, that would help you tolerate one another's culture, one another's expectations, one another's kind of romance and things like that. So even people from the same state in a particular country find out that they have different values, different principles of life. It's even challenging. How much more like two complete opposite culture, but love knows no culture, really, if I could put it that way. So, on the other hand, arranged marriages, as discussed, arranged marriages prioritize family involvement, cultural compatibility, and practical considerations as well. So, while they may offer stability and family support, they can also involve compromises and adjustments, especially if the emotional bond between the couple takes time to develop. In some cases, we're not even talking about a year or two before they kind of have that bond. You know, what keeps them going is they know they're married, they have obligations to one another. Does not mean they have that emotional connection. Because as they say, we women, we are emotional, this and that. I must feel some sort of emotional connection to this person before I think I'll be free, to be me around them, if I can put it that way. So modern arranged marriages, in today's world, the concept of arranged marriage is evolving. Like I said before, you don't have a choice. You find out that in the modernized version of it, they even allow the couples to meet before the wedding. Not that the wedding is not on, but at least they allow you to meet. Not that on the wedding day itself, that's when you see each other for the first time. So it's kind of evolving. So many modern arranged marriages are more flexible and involve greater input from the individuals involved. They even engage them. We're going to do this. Are you happy with it? We'll go ahead. They involve them. So the rise of technology has also changed the landscape, with many young people using online platforms to find potential matches within the framework of arranged marriages. Yeah, it's still working, I guess, because once upon a time, we know some culture, this is their practice. Now they've kind of advanced, they've given their children liberty to go and choose whoever they want. So whether it's from their culture or another culture, it doesn't matter. As long as you're happy, as long as you have chosen this person, they will support you. Then this blend of tradition and modernity allows for a more balanced approach, where personal choice and family involvement can coexist. So if you bring somebody from another culture different to yours, your family will support you, they will love you, they will take your spouse from wherever culture, they will love them, they would accept them as their own. So they're kind of evolving and being open-minded about these certain things. So in a way, yeah, it works. Everyone coexists eventually. So I'll be concluding now, and I want us to talk more about this. Is it practice? Is arranged marriage practice in your culture? How does it work? If you care to share with us today. And again, arranged marriages are a complex and multifaceted tradition that has played a significant role in many cultures and for centuries. I'm telling you, it's been, in fact, since I've been alive, I can tell you it's what I've heard, what I've seen people do, and what have you. I have another colleague, a female, and she said, well, from wherever she's from, it was an arranged marriage, but they made it such that she had to travel quickly for a couple of days to meet the person, and they just talked and all of that, and she came back, and then later she went for the wedding. So at least she was able to meet. But the other colleague, my previous colleague, he was just excited. He didn't care. He met the wife on the day itself. So you can imagine the they're evolving, and I guess this is still paying off, for people as well. So while they offer several advantages, such as family support and cultural continuity, they also come with challenges related to personal freedom and emotional connection. Because the truth is, some people, it's good that the culture arranges, their spouses for them, but these children are now they've been born into the modern age, and they may not necessarily like that tradition, but because it's a tradition, they just have to obey, they just have to go along with it. But you find out that they're not happy with that arrangement, but they just have to go along with it. So that also is part of arranged marriage as well. So in today's world, the practice of arranged marriage is adapting to changing social norms, allowing for a more individualized approach while still honoring cultural traditions. So I guess in a way, man meets boy, oh, from the same culture, you take them to your families and they're like, you've picked well, this is good, and that's kind of a compromise, especially when it's still, you still choose within your culture. I guess your family will still support you because they're happy with your decision, I guess. So as we reflect on arranged marriages, it's important to recognize that there is no one size fits all approach to relationships. Like I said, some arranged marriages live long till their ripe old age, and some people who meet face to face, they don't even last 5 years. So it depends. Oh wow, I see you. Thank you for joining. So whether through arranged marriages, love marriages, or other forms of partnership, the key to a successful and fulfilling relationship lies in mutual respect, understanding, and a commitment to build a life together. So whether you've been arranged, whether you meet each other by yourselves, whether whichever way, all of this marriage relationship requires mutual respect. It requires love, one another, understanding one another, whether from the same culture or different cultural backgrounds. You need to understand one another, and of course you need to commit to building that life together, and that is what makes it a beautiful marriage altogether. And then when your children comes, you can put let them understand the culture. Depend, we have Gen Alpha coming up now, so you never can tell if they're going to encourage this kind of marriage arrangement. Who knows? Maybe the Gen Alpha will be totally against it altogether. We don't know. We will see. God sparing all our lives. So this is where I'm going to end my talk today. I want to hear from you. What's your take about this way of marriage, arranged marriage, especially where couples will be meeting for the first time on that day, on their wedding day? What's your take on this? Have you found yourself in this and you're thriving? It's amazing. Your family have chosen well. Wow, we'd love to hear your story. So, do you think arranged marriage is outdated? That's my question today. Do you think arranged marriage is outdated? And I'll be bringing my puzzle very soon. I hope people will get it today. It's a bit funny one, but yeah, my puzzle. So I look forward to hearing from you. Please send an invite. Let's talk about this some more. And let's encourage people who may have found themselves in this or who are about to go through it. At least we found out there's some advantages to it as well as any other relationship. So don't feel this is the end of the world, especially if your culture promotes this. So I want to hear from us. Okay, let's see who's there.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright. Rainbow,
Welcome.
the promise, the future,
How you doing?
life.
Hello to you. Good evening. How are you
Yeah,
today?
I'm okay. Can you hear me?
I can hear you now. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you.
You're, you're
So
welcome.
I don't know what your take is about this topic, arranged marriage. Some people, their parents, kind of were arranged for them when they wanted to get married, and they're still together. Who knows?
Okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Um, I I would say that in the case of arranged marriage, it's preferable, or it could be more advantageous to advanced people.
Oh.
People are that of age. You can see a man in his 60s or late 50s, maybe he just lost his wife or something.
Oh.
That could work with them. But if we're talking about the youths,
Mm.
it's not advisable from my own, experiences I've had in life. It does not end well, because there's what we call I am a relationship therapist.
Oh,
Okay,
okay.
that's why I was interested in what you were saying. I was trying to,
Mhm.
come up. So that's what we call compatibility in a relationship. You
Yeah.
know, just like the popular adage that says Rome was not built in a day. Love does not grow in a day.
Mm-mm.
It takes time. It's like watering a plant,
Yeah.
from the seedlings to it till it becomes a tree.
Yeah.
So the issue of compatibility in a relationship, it's 100%. You
Mm-hmm.
know, we could. I can give you an example. Let's take for instance that I have a spouse, and it was an arranged marriage,
Mm-hmm.
and she's asthmatic. And on the other hand, I'm someone who probably I sweat a lot or something. You know, at that point, we are not compatible because she can't even stay for like 10 minutes under the air conditioner, or probably in a place that's too cold. And me, on the other hand, I can't stay in an environment that's hot or just the normal room temperature.
Mm.
At that point we are not compatible because it could tell on our health.
Yes. Yes.
So let's take for instance a situation where we are actually arranged for each other, then it's really gonna be a very big issue. I tell people this thing. 45% of the broken marriages,
Mm.
we hear online, the
Mm-hmm.
foundation goes back to compatibility issues. And 30% of those relationships were all arranged. It's very much rampant in the celebrity world. you know
Mm.
it's very much rampant with them. You could just be like, okay, I have this person on recommendations, and you're not even going out with this person for like a month, or probably two months, to get to know them better, you
Mm-hmm.
know, and you're jumping into the marriage. The same way you jumped into the marriage, you jump out of it.
Yeah. That's.
So the only thing I could say, it's the advantage comes
Mm.
in advanced people that are advanced. A man in his 60s might have what we call probably the complex issues.
Mm.
Picking a wife, he can say, okay, I might be too old for this person. I might be, too timid for this person. Now, at that point, even the children of such person could even help.
Raise up.
My mom is late. My
Oh.
mom is late, and my dad got remarried. My dad is in his late 60s. It
Okay.
was arranged.
Oh
Okay,
wow.
yeah, it was arranged because at that point, the only reason why we did that was because we felt he needed a companion as well. It's no longer the whole "I want to do life with you, I want to enjoy life with you." No, he's
A
past that
companion.
stage.
Yeah.
I'm the last child of my parents, so they don't have any other person, staying back there with them. So at that point, he does not really know how to walk up to a lady and woo a lady and be like, okay, I want to get married to you. So at that point, the whole arranged marriage issue
Mm.
can come into play.
Okay.
So left for me, I would say arranged marriage could be a thing because it has a role it plays when it comes to advanced people.
Okay.
Okay. Now, there are also people that are not advanced, but they have the complex issue of talking to a lady. I have a friend like that. All his life, I think he should be 32 now. He's never had a girlfriend because he's scared to walk up to ladies. So that could work as well. But if that must work with youths, then
Mm.
when you arrange this person,
Mm-hmm.
you give them time to pair
Yeah.
and bond.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like talking about intimacy. The same thing you said. It's the same thing with me. I can't be intimate with somebody I'm not in love with. Let's forget the whole fact they say men cheat, men are dogs and all. I'm a man, but I cannot go down with somebody into love making if I'm not into you, emotionally into you. Okay, so it's a very big turn off. That's where you hear people say, I'm in this marriage because I just want to make babies. I'm in this marriage because I just want to, I don't want to dance my name. So I feel the disadvantage of it has on the young people is 70 to 30%. All right, so I'm not gonna encourage somebody, to go into an arranged marriage. If you can be observant, a whole lot of the whole Western movies we watched when we were younger, you see princes disguising themselves to go look for a wife, because the whole idea of arranged marriage for probably a royal family, a member, it does not end well. It's just like forcing something down my throat when I don't even want to have it. So I feel its disadvantage is way more, more than the advantage. Then for advanced people, the advantage is it's more, you know. So that's what I have to add.
Thank you. I've learned quite a number of things from you there. So I never even looked at it that way. Maybe, yeah, that's true because the older generation, as you put it, they've been married before. Maybe one, you've lost your spouse or something. So they've
Yeah,
lived that life. And
yeah,
now, I mean, imagine at their age, they'll be like, what else am I looking for? But when you talk about that companionship,
yeah.
it's very important because some men, the moment their spouse dies, if there's nobody there, it's like in no time they're gone as well. So
Yeah,
yeah, I do understand. So that way, I guess in my work, because I mean, you children, you're not going to bring somebody that will wound your dad to come and be
yeah.
with him. So
I mean,
that kind of arranged, yeah.
she's just like my mom. Like she the same way. I think that the man is so much lucky because
Wow.
the same way my mom, the calmness, like meekness, and all those gentilities in her. I feel he was lucky, but then it still boils down to making the right selection
Yeah.
on the whole arranged marriage,
Mm.
because at the end of the day, even the people arranging these marriages for you, it's very much important, to they play a very key role,
Yeah.
so you need to be careful about people we give this roles to handle,
Yeah.
you know.
It's very
So
true.
yeah. So I feel with older men.
Imagine, one love, sorry to cut you. Imagine your dad in his 60s still lives another 40 years. That means 40 years of marriage to this person that has been
Yeah,
arranged. So is it not going to enjoy it or, the
exactly.
opposite?
It's
So it
it's
has
gonna
to be
be
well
hell.
thought of. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. So that's it. So it's also important to get to know. Uh, and one thing is the goodness of this is that when you're getting to arrange these people, they get to understand and know their role in the family. Now, this is an older man. Yeah, we know. I know he's bereaved. I know. Then they get to understand they have to adapt. They have to adapt into that situation, the whole situation. But you're not gonna tell a young lady or in her 20s or probably her early 30s that wants to do life. You can't
Exactly.
just push her into something
One
that she's not,
rigid
she's not
relationship.
really, yeah, exactly. She's
Yeah.
not really into. So I feel it could work with the older men, but with the whole young
Or
people,
maybe even older women too. Maybe.
yeah,
Maybe.
older women. Sorry, older women as well. I could just for the both genders, it could
Yeah.
work for the both genders. So I feel it's something it's something good and advantageous to older people,
Okay.
especially people that are bereaved.
Yeah, I get you. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Yes, thanks for joining. He says, personally, I'd like to do a research about whether arranged marriages feel more than normal, honestly, it'd be worth the trouble to go through that and find out truly, because sometimes we just assume things based on maybe where we grew up, our ways of life, and you'll be amazed that it probably works more. I don't know. Things like that. Really, really would want to know. Maybe when you're ready to do that research, please count me in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that contribution. One love. I really appreciate that.
Well,
So, Inyanks, I'm gonna come to you now. Before I go to my puzzle for today, please, guys, don't run away. It's a puzzle. We're meant to laugh, Yeah, I feel there's a lot of assumptions around the matter. Yeah, there's a lot, because the two people that I shared their cases with you, they were happy. My current colleague, so to say, well, we've been colleagues for how many years? She's quite happy. They've got 3 children already, and their marriage is going on strong. My former colleague, it's been over 15 years now. I don't know. I'm not even in contact with him. But you could see the excitement. He's a young guy, and he was excited for me. Guess what? I'm traveling. I'm going to get married. I'm like, oh, you didn't tell me you have a girlfriend. He said, no, girlfriend. My parents arranged. I'm meeting her on the wedding day. I'm like, what's his name? I can't even remember. He said he's excited. Even me, I was in shock. I'm like, is this guy for real right now? Knowing he's a young guy and he was all for it, So I guess, and like I said, that was years ago. I don't know today if they still feel the same excitement about that. I don't know. But like you said, it kind of sits well. Yeah, the young people, they want to explore. They want to find love themselves. They want to, do life. And then you're telling them you must manage with this person. Even the family, they mean well. But are you so sure that, like you talked about health issues, genotypes, blood group, and things like that you need to consider? Because when you start bringing up children, imagine if all those things have not been looked into. AS now coming to marry AS because your family has arranged it, and all that comes with that as well. So thank you for that insight. Inyax, can you speak where you are? Thanks for joining. Good evening or good day to you. Let's hear you.
Evening.
Good
Can you hear
evening.
me? Can you hear me?
Yes, we can. Yeah.
Oh, thank you very much.
Yeah.
No, thanks for the opportunity. Though I'm having issues with my network signal,
Noticed. Yeah.
because I hope I don't get kicked out of the conversation just like the last time.
Just crossed.
Yeah, no. The thing is, I like the topic, but at the same time, I'm beginning to realize that the topic is actually extremely deep. It has layers, Yeah, because it involves a lot, culturally, traditionally, and stuff like that. But once you touch the issue of marriage, the first thing that pops into my mind is the definition of marriage, because we seem to have taken liberty to define marriage societally using society's standards. And that's why we are always going to have issues concerning marriage and why it fails, even in this younger generation of today, as opposed to the older generation. You see? Yeah, so everything has its origins, and then unfortunately, marriage has an origin too.
Oh, it does.
And not only does it have an origin, it also has an originator. There is somebody who designed marriage, and then
My language.
it's amazing that in all of this, in the modern times or in the modern age, we have not even considered. Actually, we've shied away from that point as to where does marriage come from, and what is the purpose of marriage. You see, so we have we have made romance to be the nucleus of marriage. And then because of the standards of society,
Yeah.
and then now we have to we're having to deal with the backlash of abandoning the foundations of marriage,
Okay.
because truly that's where the issue lies. Okay. um Let me pop back again into what you were talking about and what you were addressing.
Yeah.
There are a lot of advantages that come with arranged marriages.
Okay.
And then, much as people frown at the idea, but actually, arranged marriages are very popular.
It
It's
is.
just that they are not publicized as
As
normal
more
ones.
plans, yeah. Mm.
You know,
Mm-hmm.
let me make an example.
Please.
Um, Funmi, you and I become friends,
Yeah.
and then we become close acquaintances,
Mm.
and then you get married, I get married,
Mm.
I have a son probably right now,
Mm-hmm.
and 4 or 5 years down the line you have a daughter, and we are very tight, so much that your husband and I become friends, and my wife and you become friends.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me make it interesting. You and I start a business, and
Okay.
it grows, it becomes a multi-million empire.
Mm-hmm.
Let us be honest now.
I think I know
Let
where
us
you're.
be honest. To
Yeah.
to keep the pool of our wealth strong,
Mm.
our children are we are gonna instigate it. We are gonna encourage it. In
Mm.
fact, we are gonna groom them from as little as they can be. That, you know what, you two are gonna get married one day.
Wow.
They might not like the idea at first, probably.
Mm.
Maybe by the grace of God, they will grow into each other, because we'll make sure that they play together. They
Yeah.
go to the same thing, so that when that time comes, you know what? And guess what? 15 years, 20 years down the line, they get married. You and I are
Mm-hmm.
going to have a set of grandchildren that
Mm-hmm.
have your blood and my blood. Why? Because you and I are covenantal friends,
Yeah.
and we have a covenant in business, and we are forging ahead
Mm-hmm.
generationally to make sure that everything stays within our grasp. This is why some of the most powerful royal families in the world have been able to stay in power.
That's true. Mm.
They use arranged marriages for such purposes. And then we've seen how arranged marriages have stabilized the political turmoils between countries. Even in the days of old, even right now, it's still done. They want to make a noise because they know that it's not to be um, what you call admired or so. But I was just making an example. And of course, there are other arranged marriages where it's not even really about who's rich or whatsoever, but it's more of a cultural issue.
Yeah.
You know, that, you know what, I prefer that my child would marry somebody who,
On
who,
my
who belongs
tribe.
to who belongs to their tribe. So there are some, and then all those reasons have to be taken into consideration. But I've noticed that at the end of the day, marriage is marriage. And then there are people who fall in love, who go the romance route. Yeah, I gotta know him, I gotta love him. And they get married 2 years down the line, they divorce. So how would that be explained?
Yeah.
You
That's
see,
true.
how are we gonna justify that? Because there are people who truly love each other, and
Yeah.
then yet they fail, they do not make it.
Mm.
You see, we have to throw it into the equation too, as to what's going on. So now, to make sure that I stay balanced, because I cannot be biased and say I am for arranged marriages or I am not for arranged marriages. Well, I believe that sometimes they work, sometimes they don't.
Yeah. I guess.
Yeah, sometimes they work, sometimes they don't, and then even and sometimes it's the issue of the context and the reason behind them. But I would rather stick on, why do human beings get married in the first place? Why?
That's another
You see,
topic.
that's another topic altogether. But unfortunately, it's tied to it because right now our perception of marriage has been so warped that we attribute certain things to him. Right now, it's a sad it's a sad situation where when we get married, the marital status is all about the woman,
Ah,
how it gives her status, how she's the center of attention whatsoever. That's why today marriages fail, because people get married for
different
personal
for the
and
wrong
personal
reason.
reasons. Yeah, that and then when they get into marriage, they find out that it's something else, and it's a problem. You know, uh, you love me, I love you. I cheat on you once, you never forgive me. But when you learn how your mother's and father's marriage survived for 50 years, and then your father tells you that, you know what, I've done some major hectic mistakes, but your mother just forgave me, and it has been forgiveness, and until I became a better man, and it was so. And guess what? You and I love each other very much. We are compatible, but you suffer the state of an unforgiving heart, and therefore your marriage is aborted before it even goes anywhere. You see, so at the end of the day, we can arrange marriage, we cannot arrange marriage, but I strongly feel that we are living in a generation where people do not even understand the rules and the laws
Of marriage.
that rule marriage, because marriage is a dimension on its own, and it has certain rules that must be respected regardless of whether it's an arranged marriage or not.
Oh
And then
yeah.
if those rules are not respected, we are going to have a problem.
Oh definitely.
Because whether a marriage is arranged or not, unfortunately, a marriage will produce children.
Oh yeah. Oh
You
yeah.
see, it will produce children, and then children, they don't monkey around. They just want a stable home. They want a mother and a father who's always there. You know, I was very surprised when you said that your colleague was actually looking forward
He was. He
to
was.
getting to getting married to a person he does not even have a clue how she looks like, how she behaves. It just tells you that this is how much the world has been disappointing to other people. Probably he has tried dating sites, whatever, but nothing was working. And he gave this the chance, and guess what? It works. He has a wife, 3 kids today, and he loves her and he respects her and stuff like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, maybe I will cap it off, or I will close it off by saying, when it comes to marriage, I always say this when I talk to people, because I've been married for 9 years. I have 9 years, and I've 3 kids too.
Oh
You
wow.
know,
Congratulations.
and then I will say this, that marriage is God's territory.
Oh yes.
We can come up with traditions of men to try to run it and facilitate it, but when the one who has originated marriage starts requesting, or starts expecting accountability in marriage, then you'd realize that no, now we are in something else. Because uh, I know it gives off the feeling that in this day and age, arranging a marriage for a child is tantamount to being primitive and stuff like that.
Yeah, kind of.
But here's the thing: some of the most well-established and most orderly families, they do it, and they won't run around telling you that we arrange marriages. They do it quietly, and then it has served them for generations, and it produces offspring and it produces stability, everyone is okay.
Yeah.
And then we come here with our eyes, because everything is shaped according to the perception of social media, and then sometimes we think that maybe it's not a good thing, maybe it's oppressive to the people that are being forced or to get into this marriage, only to find out that even in most cases nobody's forcing another. They actually sit down with them and they talk to them that, you know what, here's the situation, do you agree to it or not? Because some other parents, if the child does not agree to it, they pull out of it.
Yeah.
You know what? Because the emotional and the mental state of their children is important. You know, though I know sometimes if you are born into royalty, you may not have more of a say. If your father is a chief or a king and says, you know what, you're gonna marry into that family because we go way back with them historically and stuff like that, then you'll have to do it. You know, look at this way. I'll make an example. You live in the UK right now, and the
Yeah.
UK has a monarch.
Yeah.
You know, uh, King Charles was once Prince Charles, and he married Princess Diana, who was royalty in her own right. You get my point?
Yeah.
But let's fast forward. Their kids, their boys, Harry, Prince Harry, and whatever. Look at the mess that is the royal family right now. You know, and I'm not saying that it is a standard. I'm just making an observation.
Yeah.
The boy, the other boy, just married somebody whom he loves. Did not care whether she did not come from a royal family whatsoever, and it's an admirable thing. But look at how persecuted they are. Look what's happening. Their life is a nightmare, especially for their kids. While the other one, the older brother,
Yeah.
the one who's married to Kate Middleton. Look,
Yeah.
everything is going very well, because I can tell you, I can tell you that that marriage was arranged, even though Kate Middleton was not royalty, but it was arranged. You know, said, no, what, I'm marrying into this, and it was agreed and it was okay. But the other one went with his heart, and then he's suffering now. He's cut off from his family. He cannot relate with them simply because he married somebody that did not approve. Yeah, I do not mean to put words into their mouth, but they clearly they don't like the girl for some reason or whatever the case might be, you know. But yeah, sometimes there are pros and cons into arranged marriage. I don't believe that is the most perfect thing, you know, especially even in our day and age. But in days of old, it was it was a very well run machine. It did wonders. Yeah, it did wonders. Probably some other people are still using it in this day and age. But yeah, but I will say that probably you need to make another live session where we really talk about marriage. Like what is marriage? What does it entail?
I think
Are we marrying to satisfy each other, or is there a divine mandate for us getting married? Because whether arranged or not, once we are married,
we are.
It's something else. We've gotten into a covenant which cannot be easily broken.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank
I'll just end it there, ma'am. Yeah.
Thank you. You know, I think when I started this live stream on Thursdays, I always talk about marriage relationships. And the early days was where I went in deep, this thing called marriage and all of that. That's why every topic that I do on Thursdays is marriage related. And one thing I'm not, apologetic about this. I'm a Christian, and I believe strongly in the foundation, the historical foundation of marriage as created by God. And I know the Bible says that when God created everything, he said it was good. So everything God created was good. Marriage institution was created by God, and it is good. And we all know, if we want to go by that, say a man will leave his father and mother and cleave to his wife. So therefore, the man is supposed to go and source for his wife, meaning they will find each other and love each other and all of that. But just like you've said, I've said, and One Love have said, culture plays significant role, when you talk about this arranged marriage. And who are we to say it doesn't work? Who are we to say it works? That's why I say I wish we could, conduct a research to find out, does it work? And then this is the modern day now, the 21st century. Do people still practice it? Or they're just doing it on the down low, or whatever it is. But whichever way, marriage relationship requires love, whether at first sight or inside the marriage, or whichever way you want to look at it. Mutual respect, understanding, commitment, tolerance, a lot of things to guide whether you found each other, whether you've been arranged for one another, because it takes two to make a marriage work. So there are people who truly love each other but dismissively fail in marriage. That's very true as well. I've had friends, I mean, you think, these people were looking at them on top that and all of that, and all of it, a sudden, 33 years or so, they're going their separate ways. It shocks me, and I'm like,
No,
wow. Yeah, you want to say something?
yeah, I wanted to add to what he said.
Okay, please.
He made a very, yeah, he made a
Just
very
said it.
valid,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, he made a very valid point. I'm just going to be brief. I appreciate the fact that he hit the nail at the head. So he made a very valid point, but I still want to add to what he said. you
okay,
know
please.
your status matters a lot. There are some families that, like he said, he was talking about the royal families. I think it's expedient that the kind of spouse you bring to the palace has to also come from a royal family to an extent, or probably a very prominent family. So that's arranged marriage can come in. But I want just what he did is this. You know, in that case scenario, you
Yeah,
understand? Please, can you hear me?
I can hear you clearly.
Can
Yeah.
you hear me?
Yes,
All
yes.
right. In that All right. In that case scenario, I feel it's different from the kind of arranged marriage we're talking about. Now if we grow up together, and I probably, like you said, having a business partner or something, there's every tendency that there's a bond between these two families, and these two kids are growing up together. They
I
must
think
tend
they
to
know
like
each
themselves.
other. They know each other to some
Yeah, they
extent.
would
Yeah.
tend to like themselves. Yeah, exactly, exactly. Now, the one that I wouldn't encourage, which I was talking about firstly, is a grown-up man, somebody in his 30s or his 20s. They get to arrange somebody for you that you've not even met before, you've not spoken to before, and you want to get betrothed to that person. So the whole royal family, it works because there was a bond from the onset. You grew up with this person, you knew this person. There are a lot of my classmates that were friends from the primary school. They are married today happily. You understand? So that can work. Now I don't even really consider that 100% arranged marriage, because
Yeah.
they kind of groomed these kids into it. You understand? They groomed these kids into it. Now, the definition of arranged marriage is the act of selecting a special or specified person or spouse for another person. You understand? Without with zero knowledge or zero
Each other.
consent of that person. Okay. Now, when I grow up with you, and my parents are ringing in my ears, I'm seeing the way they want us to be close. I have a knowledge that these people want this thing to happen. Okay, to an extent, I understand that these people want this thing to happen. Okay, so that can work. That's why sometimes in the real family, it's not really much of an issue. Okay, now I can also say I had this classmate. The dad was a king. He married seven wives. Sorry. To an extent, most of them that later got married, I still talk to most of them. It was the whole arranged marriage. It's not like they even grew up together. They are not happy in their homes, but when they come out, they portray this happiness like, oh, we are from the royal family, we are cool and everything. But inside the house, they are
They're
cat
not.
and dogs.
Mm.
Okay, so in as much as arranged marriage has its advantages, I feel the
Mm.
disadvantages, it's internal. You might
Away.
be saying this is a king, this is a prince, but
Mm.
within the four walls, one thing is this. I keep telling people, because I used to be a screenwriter, I write movie scripts. Okay,
Okay.
now fictions, there is 30 to 50% of reality in every fiction,
Oh yeah.
now
Oh
if you're someone that watches all these movies that has to do with kings, kingdoms and all,
yeah.
there's always an internal issue.
Mm.
Okay, now these are movies, but the truth is it's almost the same way in reality.
Yeah.
It's
And it
just like
happens.
saying everything you see on social media is not real. Most of
Mm.
these people are not having a happy home. They are doing it because it's what courtesy demands.
Yeah, I
You
guess.
understand?
Mm.
If you run a check on every family, every royal family that is betrothed to one person or the other, and ask them, "Are you happy in your home?" Sincerely speaking, you would
Mm.
have at least 65% of them
Okay.
opting out of not being happy.
Wow.
You understand? Now, it's all boils down. It all brings us back to the purpose of getting married. Now, if you're not happy in your home, you're doing it because courtesy demands it. Then the whole aim of marriage is defeated,
It is.
because that's
It
not
is.
what the Bible wants us to. That's not how the Bible wants us to see
We're
marriage.
supposed to enjoy our
Okay.
marriage,
Now,
not
the one of the
war.
reasons why exactly
Yeah.
one of the reasons why Adam fell was because God gave him this person as his wife.
Mm.
He was not given the opportunity to pick somebody.
Another
That was
person.
one of the reasons why their marriage had that issue it's had. Now, if we are given, I feel that the Bible says, "He that findeth a wife," you have to
Mm.
find yourself. I don't. I
Okay.
don't think somebody needs to do the finding for you. Okay, you have to pick yourself. The Bible says, "He that findeth a wife,
Mhm.
findeth a
Fine.
good thing and do what
Okay.
obtains favor." So if you're pushing your assignment of finding to a third party, then we are breaking the first law of marriage.
Mm. I
Because
get
the
you.
truth is,
That's
if I'm
very
having issues, if you send somebody to me, when the first time probably we get married, and the first soup she cooks is bad, the first person I'm going to call is you.
true.
See
Of
the
course
person you
you
give
do.
to me. Yeah, see the person you give to me, she doesn't even know how to cook. And now that's also an issue, because the truth is marriage matters are not even supposed to be discussed outside. But because somebody is a third party, there's a mediator in between. So whenever there's an issue, it must be let out of the bag and it
Mm.
must escalate. So I'm just giving you some
Very.
disadvantages. I'm not saying that arranged marriages are not good and all. So I'm saying the perspective he was talking about is very nice. Royal family, they want to be royal. They want to get married to each other. They
Yeah.
want to, but the only thing we didn't observe from them is that they groomed these kids from when they were a childhood. They go for vacations together.
Oh
They go
yeah.
to the same schools together. They see their faces at least once every week. You must see the face of that person. So they tend to grow to like themselves.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so that's more like a secondary type of arranged marriage,
Yeah.
not the one where a full-fledged man, you've not seen this person before,
I
but
said on
because
the
they told
wedding day.
you from the village.
Imagine on the wedding day. That's when you're
Exactly,
seeing your spouse. Huh? No, I don't know about that.
exactly,
Mm.
exactly. Now, because they told you this person is from a good home, or
Mm.
this person is a good lady and all, you get married to them. That's the one I encourage.
Mm.
But to get married is a different ball game altogether. I don't even see it as 100%. I don't see it as 100% arranged, because these kids, they grew up together. They had knowledge. You cannot tell me that a child grew up till maybe his 20s and he never for one day saw the handwriting on the wall that the parents really want, like the way they want them to be close. It has happened to a lot of people I know. It has happened to some of my cousins, and they ended up well. So that's a different one altogether. So
Yeah.
all I'm
Yeah.
trying to add to what he's saying is this: that's good, but that's not the kind of arranged marriage. Me, I can't
You have a
talk
mind.
people of,
Yeah.
because that one is okay. We can be married. It's even sweet that, But the idea of, yeah, but the idea of somebody different,
Mm,
somebody different you don't even know from Adams. I don't really, appreciate that.
mm. Thank you. Thank you so Thank you. There's so many kinds of arranged marriage, like I said, but when you want to look at the ancient historical one, that one was so highly concentrated upon the family to pick your wife, to pick your husband, and you do not have a say. But one of the things I said when I was giving my talk is this modernization. Just like I gave two scenarios of my previous colleague, he was so excited. He hadn't seen this person. And he said it's on the wedding day. In fact, they've planned the wedding, everything. All he has to do is just fly down, do the ceremony, and life goes on. Meanwhile, the other person is even a lady. She said they arranged for them to meet in one particular nation close to them for 2 or 3 days or so, because I remember she was away from work and she met this person. She said, "Oh, it's not bad. Okay, I see me living with this person and all." So there are two different scenarios I've given you, and both of you that I've spoken so far has given even further scenarios, but all still under the umbrella of arranged marriage, whether it's the modernized type that they give you opportunity to say, do you like each other? Do you not? What say you, IA or whatever, and then if the bride and groom supposedly come and say, look, I don't see me with this person, they talk to their families and the family will stop it right there and then. That, I believe, is the modernized one. But even the modernized one, some would say, you know what, don't worry, you have the full backing of both families who support you, whatever you need, counseling, whatever support will be there, and they push them off into it. And sometimes it works, just like we've been saying, and sometimes it doesn't work. We never can tell. But at the end of the day, the core rules of marriage, once you say, I do, and you're in that marriage, that transition, you have to go into it loving each other, caring for one another, understanding one another, respecting one another, submitting. In fact, the list goes on and on and on. Those are the rules that keeps a marriage. And once we break them in and out, that's why we see all sorts. And I keep saying that, the reason why we don't see the goodness of marriage is because we are not doing what we're meant to do, whichever way that marriage has come to be. And you find out that some people, they don't know each other. On that wedding day, they meet, and it took time, took time. They got to know each other, and they're now so in love, like, in fact, nobody could have picked a better partner. So we have such cases as well. Thank you so much. Ian, the fortunate, we don't know his mind, but then if you think deeper, it could be so. There's so many kinds of arranged marriages, today. Likewise, so many kinds of marriages today. But we know the core one we're talking about here, the marriage between a husband and wife, whether they are sometimes you might even go for functions. I'm coming to you guys. Thank you so much for your patience. I really appreciate this. Okay, maybe I'll tell us the puzzle now because of time. So we have, we can think about it. I'm not sure if manager is close by, can help me type it in. So my puzzle for today, just to kind of wind down a bit, my puzzle today is, why is it so hot in hell? Somebody asked, and there's an answer to it. Why is it so hot in hell? There is an answer, because of something. So if you know the answer, please feel free to type it in or come up and tell us in the box so you can get the gift for today. So let's be thinking about that whilst we still talk about this arranged marriage. And I remember
Sorry, what's the puzzle?
the puzzle is, why is it so hot in hell? I've not been there, but at least we know, we've read stories, we've read accounts. Why do you think it's so hot in
Okay.
hell? So you can think about it, or you want to attempt it now.
No, you could go on.
It's funny.
You could go.
Okay. Okay, or you can even help me type it there. I'm not sure if my manager is around, but it's okay. So that's the puzzle for today. If you
All
don't
right.
get
So
it, yeah.
Let me type it.
Okay, all right. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. So I'm coming to you, Joss Bevy Lady. Thank you so much. I really appreciate you coming here again today. How are you? I hope you're good.
I'm fine, but I got cold, so I cannot talk much today.
Oh,
But
and I wish I could give you hot soup, hot pepper soup.
I have been chewing ginger for long, but
So sorry to hear that. So sorry, my dear.
yeah.
Okay.
So a small thing I may say is arranged marriage. I can say it's in between.
Mm,
It's in between, and let me say for in the olden days,
yeah.
yeah, in the olden days that may work because that's sorry.
Sorry, my dear. Sorry.
If I'm talking, then I'm strongly because in the olden days, it's the arrangement that they do for like even if it is not like how my brothers already said, if it is not someone that the wife or um the husband has died, they they arrange that for like young people, but they like it's like understanding is there. It's not like this modern world that everybody wants um everybody wants whom he or she loves to just marry. So what I can only say is that one that time in the olden days it lasts long because they understand each other and including their families involvement. They share values and goals, greater commitment,
Mm.
and yeah, and yeah, that is what so my sister. I cannot talk much today.
All
That is
right.
all I can say.
Yeah. It seems maybe stories we've heard from history, it kind of works because, like, I mean, we all know we've heard of it and it's still around somewhat. But back in the day, yeah, I think it seemed to work, especially, I'm just thinking back to people in the village kind of setting, like maybe my African village. They say, this person must marry from the next village. They arrange it and all of that. I'm just, I don't know why that picture keeps coming to mind. He said it reflects one of his divine attributes, which is God, is a consuming fire. No. But it is so hot in hell. It's a puzzle, mind you. It's a puzzle. So don't let's go theological on me, please. Thank you. But thank you for the attempt. But nah, you're not right. So thank you so much, Just Bevy, for your contribution. At least you try. That's an easy. Let me think.
Villages, if they arrange, even nowadays in the villages, if they arrange those marriages for them, they also don't want to go into it because you sometimes the man is older than you. How can you go into that? You are going to put trouble on you.
I mean, that's why I say modern day. The modern day, I don't think the modern day youth that wants to get married now will wait for their families to find husband or wife for them. When those two have found each other already and they're playing love under that mango tree already, and then they're now bringing another girl, this is the one you will marry, and meanwhile he's found his mango under the tree, mango tree girl already. So you can imagine sometimes they might have to elope just, and they would damn all family whatever because they are in love with each other and be like, this person I don't even know, and I don't know anything about it, you want me to come and marry because they're from this family or that family, kind of a thing. So we've seen, I mean, you've watched so many movies, and just like One Love said, they're fictions, there's some elements of truth in there always, but it is what it is. Arranged marriage, it's been since way back. It is, even in this modern day, it still exists. But I'm just asking, do you think it's outdated? Should it be outdated? But if it works, why not? Thank you so much for that. So Onoye, I'm coming to you. I don't know if you want to try my puzzle first, or you want to go straight into the talk?
Let me say something. That your friend that you heard once that she told you that they have arranged marriage for him that he's going to marry. It could be that maybe he don't want to tell you the truth. Maybe they have already showed the person to him, and he has agreed to the parent in the village that yeah, it could be something like that. That is my imagination.
Oh. Another thing that I can never, is what people tell you that you will know. But all I can remember, at least I remember, he was so excited. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I even thought it was his girlfriend back home that he was going to marry. He said, no, he's never met. I said, you've never met. And he was so excited, like, Then I'm like, so when are you going to? He said, oh, on the wedding day. I'm like, what? You hear of arranged marriage, but now this is somebody that I know. And he was saying it and he was happy. And I'm like, well, if you
You go
want,
and the person is like it's no nowadays they
I,
don't expect.
I don't know. I wish I could reach out to him to say, are you guys still together? I mean, it will be one of our research crew members, if I must say. But the other one, I mean, she said that is the parents, the family of both of them that arranged that. But they now also arranged for them to meet somewhere for a few days and talk about if they were okay. And they were okay. And she said, oh, I said, did you not feel pressure? She said, oh, no, I met him and I like him. And then we said, okay. And like I said, they have 3 children now, and she's happy. She's still happily married to this person. So sometimes, I mean, they're fortunate like that. It ends well or it's still okay. And at the same time, just like any other marriage, that people meet each other. Normal marriages that they fall in love. Some people they fall in love and still stuff happens. And that's life. Life happens, things happen. So it doesn't really mean because I found you, I love you, we're going to stay together forever. I mean, that's the prayer. But you and I know that it doesn't always work that way. So thank you so much for that. Onoye, I'm going to come to you. Just a reminder, my puzzle says, why is it so hot in hell?
Because it's hell, and should be hot.
No, we all know there is a reason why, but yeah, nice attempt, but no, thank you.
Because I feel devil is red-headed. He's hot-headed.
You're making me laugh. Well done, keep trying. I know you like to try, but it's all right. Don't worry, I'll give you a whole week to go and research and find the answer. I won't tell us the answer today if nobody gets it. So I'll bring it back next week.
That's
So
fine.
what's your take? You're welcome. What's your take on this topic, arranged marriage? Do you think it's overrated or outdated, or what's your take on it? Do you like it? Do you think it's a good idea still? Nearly got it. Sorry. Yanks, nearly. But the word I'm looking for is not there. There's a particular word. It says because it's hot on hell because there's no air conditioning. You're nearly there, but well done, well done. But so carry on. Sorry, oh no, thanks for your patience.
Maybe is it because they remove the firmament of from that area? Maybe is that
Okay,
why it's
I'll
hot?
give you a clue.
Okay.
Inyax nearly got it, but the word air, AIR, is not what I'm looking for. But the conditioning, perfect. So that air is not the word I'm looking for. There's no fan.
Is heat conditioning.
No, 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 no.
Because the
So,
devil keeps cooking troubles there, right?
nah. Nice attempt, but no. Yeah, you were so close. So well done. Well done for that. So
Maybe
let's hear from.
is because there's a is it Funa something I don't know. But let me leave it.
There is no
Okay now.
oxygen. Johnny babes, no. No, well
So
done,
yeah.
guys. You're trying. Nice attempt. So yeah, let's hear you
Uh,
on. Don't worry, I won't cut you now. Don't worry. Thank you.
arranged marriage, whether is it overrated or is still, it
Is
is whether
out
it is still in
there
practice or
or
no, it's not outdated.
okay.
So whatever, let me just say, what the eyes have not seen, God did not create. So whatever we have seen our eyes and actually see is still in existence, is still in practice. But
Okay.
it's just that not the way they used to do the practicing before. Because arranging marriage is actually done for based on the family and not for necessarily the two couples. And then some of those arranging marriage is being practiced most time just to keep the legacy of their families and stuff and all that. But yeah, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just that the people have now become more advanced and then they want to really get in tune with the person that they want to marry. So yeah, arranging marriage is still in practice. So and
Okay.
the reason why you see most of the time arranging marriage work in those days, just like what one love is a one love X says. Yeah. So
Oh yes.
Adam marriage failed not because of arranging marriage by God, it's just because of disobedience. So it's a disobedience of both of them that make that unfair. So and even arranging marriage or people do not do arranging, that is not even a yardstick for marriage to even last or for marriage to still to split. That is it's not a access to that. So, but arranged marriage, yes, there's nothing wrong with it. People still practice it. It's not outdated. People are still doing it.
Okay.
So there's nothing
Okay.
wrong with arranging marriage. So people just want to get into marriage through the marriage.
Okay.
So the area
So
I want to go by saying why it worked that time mostly than now, because in those days we practice same village marriage, same tribe. Okay,
okay.
we marry within our community and in those days very much. So that's why our marriage still lasts long. So when problem happen, it's easy to fix because of it's the same tribe, the same village. So family
The
plus
same
family,
language. Yeah.
yeah, same language, same village. So family with family can easily meet and discuss the conflict and differences. But now that we have a lot of problem today in marriage, intermarriage is not that it's not good, but the disadvantages is what we're seeing now. That
Yeah.
arranged marriage and normal marriage no longer work because of intermarriages of people are now taking side, defending their children, supporting their children. They don't want to take blame or their children accountable for what they have done. So that is why you see arranged marriage and normal marriage for two couples to get in tune doesn't work anymore this longer. So, but even in this modern day, most arranged marriages is still even work more better than those are in tune. Because if they actually arrange you a marriage from your own town, your own language and everything, your parents will do that background check.
Oh
Your
yeah.
parents will do that background check and check for do that vetting for you. And they'll say, it was my son, my daughter, this family is a reputable family. So the other family too, before they still agree, they also do the vetting on behalf of their child to the next family. So yeah, my son, my daughter, yeah, that family that came to actually seek for you in marriage, they're actually good family. I would like you to look into it and go. So that is why they will not do the first arranging meeting for both of the people for them to see each other if it's one thing they really want to go. So they will do that. So I still support arranging marriage because it works for same tribe, same village. It keeps more value than what the one we're doing right now is on bullshit at the moment now.
Oh
Not
wow.
much. So much.
Oh, wow, wow, wow. Despite the fact that we're in the modern world, a more civilized world, a more technologicalized world, it's still happening. It's still working out for some people, probably not working out for some people. So I think it's a norm that has been and is still here to stay. Okay, thank you so much, Onoye, for that contribution. I see my sis online. Good evening, sis. Before I bring you on, I just want to tell us again the puzzle. Why is it so hot in hell? You guys are trying. Honestly, this is a very nice attempt from quite a number of you, but not quite still. So I'll still give us room. If you don't get it today, like I said, I'll bring it back next week. and then we'll see how far we'll go. But in Yanks, like I said, that word air just needs to be replaced for you to get it right. So thank you for that attempt. So Sister Lydia, how are you? Good evening. You're
Yeah, I'm
welcome.
very well, thank you. Good
You're
evening,
welcome.
Pastor Fumi.
You're welcome, ma.
Yeah.
I don't know
What's
what you're
Pastor
saying.
Nancy?
He's fine. He's fine. He's
Yeah,
fine.
we're going
Everybody's
through.
fine. How's everybody yonder there?
Yeah, we're all fine. We're doing well.
Yeah, it's been a while. Maybe I should come around though. We'll see. It's been a while.
Yeah, we can't wait to have you around. Please do.
Why not? Why not? Thank you so much for joining today,
You're
my
welcome. Yeah.
I don't know what your take is on arranged marriage. I asked the question, do you think arranged marriage is outdated? Is it overrated? Does it still work? And, I don't know what your take is on it.
Let me. I don't know. I don't know where to start from.
Please,
When we're
from
talking
somewhere.
about arranged marriage, somebody who doesn't believe in arranged marriage,
Oh, okay.
don't believe in it 100%.
Oh, wow.
Because when we're talking about arranged marriage is human being matching one up. And even in the Bible, we were told that God was the one who actually created a man and a woman. And if he created a man and a woman, the Bible said that he took the bone, the rib of Adam, even to form Eve. And when we're talking about arranged marriage now, that means that we have actually pushed God aside. We have said to ourselves that, yeah, I don't need God here. All I need is human being, even to help me, to assist me, because God is the one who created Adam and Eve. And I believe that there is a particular man that God took his rib even to form a woman. And the only person that know that particular man, it is God. So I believe so much in contacting God in prayer and allow God to lead us. When God is leading you, you will not make error. You will not make mistakes. And that's why I said that I will not agree with arranged marriage. Yes, people think it's right. People think, yes, because like somebody just said that, yeah, they do check up on the family and so on. That is, that is human understanding. It's not from God. You can do checkup from now till tomorrow. The family might be perfect, everything. But if it is not God's will for you, such marriage will not stand. Such marriage will end up scattering. The only person that can hold marriage firm is the one who created marriage, which is God. In the book of Genesis, we were told that God himself, even in Genesis 1, 2 to 3, we were told that God himself is a family man. He loves marriage. We saw the three of them at work when the Bible said that the earth was without form and the Spirit of God was hovering upon the surface of the earth. And the Lord said, let there be. We could see the three of them working together hand in hand. And even in creation, it was three of them together. And now when we now said that, okay, I want to find that woman, that man for myself,
Flesh of flesh.
we've abandoned the work of creation, who knows everything, who have our manual in his hand. So it is better for me and for me. I've seen some arranged marriage works. Because it works does not mean it's right.
Okay.
It is better to go through the proper channel and get it right. One thing about marriage, if you get it right before you go into it, I can assure heaven on earth in that marriage. But if one gets it wrong, it will be hellfire on earth in such a marriage. And the only person who knows everything is God. Why don't we depend on God? Why are we depending on human being? The Bible says that the arm of flesh will fail. So when we're depending on people to connect us, I'm looking for a husband, and all I depend on is a friend of mine connecting me, or the husband of a friend connecting me with his friend. It does not work. It's not in the arithmetic of God. God wants us to depend solely on Him. I'm talking about Christian marriage now. I'm not talking about, worldly marriage. Worldly marriage, they can go through, connecting each other, arranged marriage, and so on. But when it comes to God, if you're a genuine child of God, you stand on God. You stayed with God. You allow God to do everything for you. We saw Isaac. The Bible said that Isaac was 40 years old. He wasn't even thinking of marriage. It was his father that thought for him. It was his father that went in search of a woman for him. And Abraham, the father of Isaac, represents God in choosing for one. It's only God who can choose for one. He knows best. He knows best. I will encourage us as believers to begin to depend solely on God, not to depend on people. People will always fail you no matter what. Even when they give you that arrangement, at the beginning it will work and everything will be perfect. But when it gets to the middle, it will crash. Matthew 7 told us that we should build on the solid rock. Matthew actually uses the illustration of a builder. He says that building, those who build on the rock and those who build on the sound, it wasn't the same result. The building was perfect at the beginning, but when there was storm, the one that was built on a sand could not stand the storm. That is how it is with marriage. When we depend on man, when we depend on ourselves, when we see a woman or a man and we thought that, oh, this woman, yeah, I love the way she looks, I love the way she smiles, and we build on that without trusting God. Or when somebody introduced me to somebody and I looked at the person and said, oh, he has a good job, he has everything is fine, he's handsome, he's tall, he's and he's caring. But after you may have gone into that marriage, it might not stand, it will crumble. It will crumble like that house that was built upon the sound. And the Bible said that there was, huge storm, and such house fell. It's only the one that was built upon a rock that stood the test of time. My prayer is that our marriage, God will help our marriage even to stand the test of time in the name of Jesus. That's just my prayer, and that's just my take on that.
Thank you. Wow, another deeper perspective. So people are trying to attempt this puzzle. It's hot because there is no health conditioning. Nah. Still for that submission. Like you said, we just want to hear everybody's perspective, I'm a believer as well, and I know one thing that I always say is God is the institutor of marriage institutions. So without God, even the one that will pray and seek God's face and God will say go ahead, we still go through issues of life, challenges of life. How much more the one that does not even acknowledge God at all? So it's our choice, whether your culture forces on you and you accept, is still your choice, whatever you decide to do. So all I'm hearing is arranged marriage exists. It's still happening today. fine. It sounds like a very ancient way of finding husband, finding wife, but it's still happening, and we're still experiencing that today. I know of some people who found themselves in this and they're still happily married today. And I know of people who fell in love and they're out of love or fall out of love now. I don't know. So either way, the principles that governs marriage, if it's not adhered to, if it's not strictly gone into and obeyed, there's gonna be issues. There's gonna be issues. Even if you're not a Christian and you go into marriage, there are principles that we need to live by so that we can enjoy that marriage. Once we don't live with those principles, it will be challenging and it might just, break up eventually. So thank you so much for that perspective, Ma. I see you, Daily Pay with Stola. Sis, how are you? Good evening. You're welcome to Inside today. I'd love to hear your take on this topic, arranged marriage.
Good evening. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you. Good to see you. Or good to have you here. I wish
I
some
re-
people can put on their camera so we can see each other's faces, but it's okay. It's okay. Don't feel obligated, please.
no, it's I've not yet gone live on TikTok. I still have
Oh,
under 1,000 followers.
oh, I
That's
see.
why.
Okay. All right. No
Yeah,
worries.
yeah.
No worries. At least I can hear you. That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Well, arranged marriage is always a topical one in the sense that people feel some type of way about it. I've also known a couple who started off their relationship as an arranged marriage because that's what their culture believed in. But along the line, I think they became Christians, and in fact, when we were told that it was arranged marriage, we could not believe it
Oh, wow.
because they had a very lovely relationship. Of course, it's not every
Oh.
one that starts off as arranged marriage that can have that same story. And just like you said, it's not everyone also that starts off with, oh, I love you, and we made the choice ourselves that will end up as a success story. So, at the end of the day, what makes a marriage work will still be the same across the board, irrespective of, I mean, okay, nowadays now people are meeting on dating apps, people are meeting over the internet. A
Yeah.
few years ago, that would have been an odd thing to say. So it doesn't, how we meet doesn't really become a factor in whether our relationship is going to succeed. It's how
Oh.
we carry on the relationship that is more important. And I have often said to people now that um, it is at the start of a relationship that perhaps whether that relationship is going to survive or not,
Yeah.
because a lot of people at the start of the relationship, they overlook so many things because they're in love. They see the red flags and they overlook them
Ignore.
because, oh, I'm going to change him or I'm going to change her, or it doesn't matter. Even when maybe friends, family, and the people who are in authority over you, they say, oh, this is just like, oh, no, 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 and you want to press in and continue. And then those same red flags that you ignored initially will now come back to bite the person in the future. So, what lesson can we learn from that? Going into a relationship, of course, people are always excited at the start of a thing, but
Yeah.
is that excitement going to carry you through? It's like somebody going into university. You get admission into university. You're so excited. You're happy that you've got the admission.
Work.
But it's work, exactly. That admission actually does not mean anything if you don't complete the university degree.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? So in the same way, we celebrate people getting married. It's okay to celebrate and throw party and spend so much money and all of that. But the work that is needed to make the marriage work, sometimes that is neglected. So we need to look at what I term compatibility on all levels. So whether it is the spiritual compatibility, the physical compatibility, the financial compatibility, the emotional compatibility, we need to look at all of that. So some arranged marriages will work. Some marriages that we enter into with our own two legs will work, because the common factor is compatibility and how the relationship grows thereafter.
Thank you. Thank you. Amazing. There is no guarantee. There is no one of the things I said, there's no one cap size fits all kind of a thing. As long as you find yourself in that marriage, whether, I don't want to say whether by hook or by crook, no. Whether you walked in it in love or you were arranged into it, at least you consented to it and you said, I do. You opened your mouth to say I do, and then off you go into that marriage. I think he is one of my pastors from Ireland who always say that, Pastor Makinde always says that when nobody dragged you, nobody puts a pistol on your head to say, okay, you must do this. No, even at that, you're free to, that one I won't call it a marriage. It says, you say I do to all of those things you're going to discover. And marriage institution is the institution that they give you certificates because they trust you that you will do right by your spouse. They give you a certificate and now send you into the institution for life. But all other institutions, like the one Daily Pay with Ola was talking about, if you go to a higher institution now, yay, you do your matric, yay, you do this. You have to pass all the exams. You have to pass all the assessments. You have to, in fact, some people will repeat a year because they didn't pass it. So you can imagine. And then when they say, well done, you have passed. Okay, now take your certificate and go and live that life. But with marriage, they give you certificate. In fact, I think I need to do more research on that. Why do we get the certificate first before they send us into the marriage? Do they know whether we'll pass or fail? I don't know. But I want to look at it from a God's eye, that we have kind of created and given ourselves the certificate that as long as you put God in this, we trust you that you will be fine. That's why I say the reason why we don't see certain things in marriage or experiences is because we're not doing what we're meant to do, or we're not obeying the laws of God, talking about submission to one another, respecting one another, loving one another, tolerating one another. Because even if you're from the same culture, your upbringing is different. Your upbringing will be different. Your cultural values may be the same, but your individual values might just be different. So you're going to learn all of that in that marriage relationship. That if you don't get to find out when you were courting, or if you were arranged, you will arrange all of that too as part of the things you need to discover. So a lot of things, a lot of things that comes with this arranged marriage is beneficial to some people. Is like they will tell you the woes. And likewise, even normal marriage that people meet, boy meets girl, fell in love, I do. They will tell you woes as well. So there is no, I don't know, I've not done the research, but I don't think that because you found each other means that marriage will last, or because it was arranged means it will collapse. We never can tell. So thank you so much for your submission. And I have my, let me. I hope you can speak. I know you probably will be on your way home or driving or something, but really I'd love to hear from you. What's your take about this arranged marriage? Do you think it's outdated? Do you think people should not even practice it anymore? Do you think it works? Or what's your take on it? I really want to hear from you, Mrs. Williams. If you're able to speak, I hope. Let me give her a minute. If not, okay, Sandra wants to come up. Oh, okay. Maybe she can't speak where she is, but if you can, before I round up, hopefully we'll hear from you. So my puzzle, guys, thank you all so much for your amazing contribution. In fact, eye-opener or opening for me as well. So my puzzle today...
Can you just give us more clues?
So my puzzle is.
Oh, okay. Let me mute you, Sandra. Thank you for joining. So my puzzle for today is, why is it so hot in hell? Everybody has been typing all sorts. In fact, I'm holding the laughter. I don't want to laugh out.
We
Why?
need a clue.
I've given you the
A
clue
clue.
now. Enyak nearly got it. I said, so that should be the clue. That's the only clue. So replace the word air with the right word. He wrote, because there's no air conditioning. No, it's not air conditioning, but the conditioning is part of it. That was why I gave him 2 ice creams so he can cool down. So why is it so hot in hell? Because dash 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 conditioning or conditioned or whatever. So not air. That's common. So it's a puzzle. You have to think. Yeah, don't overthink. So if you know it, keep typing. The laughter is good here. It's doing my body. They say laughter is good like medicine or be something like that. So it's good. Thank you so much. Thanks for joining. Mrs. Williams, if you can speak before I round up, you can give me a thumbs up so that I can invite you to share your thoughts about this topic. It's hot in hell because there's no heart conditioning. Nah. Who attempted that? Inyangs again. You're really hell bent on getting this puzzle today, but well done. Keep it up. If you get it, maybe I will double your price today because you're really trying. Sandra, how are you? Let's hear from you today. You're welcome to Inside with FunmiRoyal. Let's hear from you. What's your take about this topic? Do you believe there's anything called arranged marriage? Do you think it works? Do you think, oh, it's gone are those days? People, maybe the Gen Zs, they don't do that anymore. I don't know. What's your take on this topic, Sandra? Let's hear from you. You have to unmute so we can hear your contribution. And I know almost everyone in the box have said 1 or 2 things. Oh, Sandra's left. You can, hearing what other people have been saying, maybe there's some other thoughts coming to mind. Okay, Mrs. Williams, yay. Let's hear from you, Mrs. Williams. What do you think about
Wow. So I'm so sorry about that. Yeah, I'm so sorry. It is well. I know you understand. Well,
Yeah.
yeah, bless God. I don't want to be like, people that say, oh, I'm just joining. I don't want to say. I don't want to.
I know, that's always funny.
Like, I want to hear what other people will say. Good evening, everyone. Thank you, my beautiful twinning, for this amazing program where we are learning every week, at least twice in a week. We know, even no matter how busy or I still want to stop by. So thanks for forgiving me. So one love. Thank you for joining. Just be lady. Thank you, Daily.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Smith.
Yeah, welcome. And the Lydia. Thank you, everyone, and people from the FYP. Yeah, when we talk about arranged marriage, I think olden days, it's something that I don't know about this part of the world that we are now, but in Africa, especially, I would talk more about the Nigerian stuff that they used to have it. Like some family will say that, oh, that they found that Mr. So-so-so's son, or daughter, they want to get together, and they will arrange it within the 2 families, because even sometimes when there's the male try to tell them he has someone that they want to know the kind of the family the person is coming from, what kind of sickness, diseases, what kind of name, they do check a lot that time, which I believe what they're doing then. It was amazing because not in terms of the arranged marriage, but in terms of checking before they allow their children to go into that any form of relationship. So I would say maybe because of being part of being careful, that is where some of them are trying to arrange for their family for their children, or some doing it for their own selfish interest. maybe they have a business partner, and they were thinking, oh, we've been doing business for long. We want our 2 children to get married together, and then some are doing it for that purpose. Some are doing it for their name.
Yeah.
Some are doing it for power. Some are doing it for they do it. It depends on. So it has so many reasons why people are doing it that time. But in this generation, and it will shock you that some people are still doing it,
Oh yeah.
and it's still in this among these rich people that they still think, oh, I want my daughter to marry to governor's daughter, governor's son, or senator, or this and that. That is, I'm talking about African. But when we come to this part of the world, and okay, before getting to this part of the world, it's so funny that when they do those arrangements, olden days, it works perfectly. It works. But in this generation, not this generation, the generation before now, let's say I can use our own, that it's part of it work, but some of it, when they go into it and they're not interested in each other, they just, go their own separate ways until they will tell their parents, we're sorry. So, but this own generation, you can't do it for them. They'll tell you, Mom, Dad, I'm sorry. I want someone that I'm in love with. So even now, what they're looking for is even more than love. When you look at the young ones now, they're least, they know what they want. They know what they want. They know what they're looking for in a man. They will be ticking, 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 ticking. And then if their tick is not, they will say, no, 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 no. This person is not feeling the tick or whatever. That one is that. But in some part of, even till now, in part of Asian community, they're still doing it. They're still till today. So, but what I see, I think it's better for one to look for someone by themselves. But some culture, some people are still living in even if this is even if we're in Gen Z generation, they're still doing it. But the only thing I don't know is how do they feel about each other. Some will still work, some may not work. Because how do they is there any connection? But it's so funny that you'll be amazed that some people will tell you that there is nothing before, but now they can connect. And some say, oh, after a few years they started falling in love with the man. I don't know how they're doing it, but some culture is still working till now, and that is what they're still doing. It's hot in hell because there is no.
Yeah, it's my puzzle. They're trying to get
Okay, okay. So, in that way, if it's arranged, and there's some arranged that they arranged it, but they don't let them know, because I've seen some that they didn't tell both of them, but the way the parent did it, they later fall in love during the talking time, the relationship, before you know it, they fall in love, then they start dating, then they married. In that one they are both educated, the parent, and they were like, let's let them, if they love each other, fine, because they wanted them to get married to each other. Or I will want our children to marry. They said, no, 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 let them go for it by themselves. If it's something that works out, then that is fine. So what am I saying? Arranged marriage, it depends. It depends. But in my own view, I think I prefer to someone to look for someone that. But if that is their own culture, because we have to where we live, we have to support people cultural value, everything. So we just say, oh, that's fine. Oh, you married to your younger sister. Some people are still, it's within the family. They will arrange them, they marry their cousin and stuff like that. And when you ask them, they say, oh, it's our culture.
I hear you
So,
in yikes.
so that is my own contribution. Thank you very much for having me.
You can see so many perspective to it. Like we said, this thing has been from time, ages. It's been, and even with the modernization, it's modernized as well. When I was giving my talk, I remember saying that there's so many ways that arranged marriage, happens these days. Sometimes even the family would give the bride and groom the courtesy of meeting before the wedding, even though they planned the wedding. And some family will give them that freedom to say, look, guys, for a week or whatever, because the wedding is planned already, go and just get to know each other. If you feel okay, if not, let us know. Some family are so lenient. Once the man and woman say, no, we're not feeling it, we don't want to, the families will pull out. Meanwhile, some, they'll just say, just for formality's sake, just so that it will not be on the day you're meeting each other. So if they go off for a week, they ask questions, get to know each other, and they don't like each other, whether you tell the family yes or is inconsequential, they will not even attend to you. The wedding day is set, invitations has gone out. Whether you like each other or you don't like each other, this is it, because it's the culture. It's the culture. One love, I'm going to come to you in a second, because we'll be rounding up soon anyways. So what are we saying in essence? I mean, whatever works for you at the end of the day is your choice. The bit that I just get a bit wary is when one family have to push somebody down my throat, like, whether you like them or not, don't worry, just marry, you will fall in love with them, you get to know them and all of that. So that's just the bit that I'm a bit concerned about, because for me as a woman, I can't just marry somebody, meet them on the day, and then we'll go off on honeymoon, and then somebody that I've not even talked to for 10 hours, I'll now be. Do you get what I mean? Let's not, because I don't know who is on or not. But it's just weird for me. So, One Love, you have one thing to say. Let's hear from you, please.
All right. Thank you so much for the opportunity again.
Oh,
Thank
thank
you,
you.
Mrs. Um, I don't know what is the name. Let me see. Mrs. Williams. Okay. Thank you for also educating us as well. So I wanted to add something. The reason why most of this arranged marriage, I don't know, do I call them victims, or let me say people that engage or indulge in arranged marriage, most times why they don't speak up, it's because they're actually dealing with the stigma of divorce if the marriage don't work out. They don't come out to say these things, probably because of the big names involved, either political names or business names,
You want to bring
like all
shame to
the
the family.
yeah, exactly. So they are dealing with the stigma, okay, that of divorce. Probably this marriage did not work out. It doesn't mean that it's working out. That two people can be together for 50 years and not work. They can be strangers. Okay, so I'm just trying to shed more light to
Yeah.
why I feel I don't encourage arranged marriage, in as much as it could work, but then you live your life like you're living for others, because you're trying to balance your personal aspirations with family obligation. Okay, there are
Yeah.
family obligations attached to these things, because people like you don't live for yourself. I'm
No.
from a royal family, and my royalty demands that I marry this person from this family. Now I'm doing it because of what's courtesy, royalty, family obligation, and probably our own personal gains, family gains. What it wants, not because it's what I want to. So most of them are not happy in these marriages, and they cannot break us because of the stigma that comes with divorce. And I must tell you for free that it's mostly, I'm not trying to delve now though, but then I just want to add, I want to chip in, it's mostly the ladies that suffer it the most.
You're
It's
right.
mostly the ladies, and they can't even speak up, you understand, because of some strongholds involved. Imagine you're the king and I have a daughter, and due to relationship in past business, or probably, it's so crazy that even because of promises, they give out people to marriage because of promises we made 20 years ago. Like that, the people are not even involved. Now imagine you made a promise to me because I made you king. I was one of the reasons why you got the kingship. And now 30 years later, I'm forcing my daughter on you without her own consent. She will not come out to speak because of the people involved. Okay, so there are stigmas that comes with this thing. It's not really so cool as we see it outside. You understand? What can work, like I said earlier, there's a difference that we are family friends and we grew up together and our children got married. It's different. We grew up together, they got to know themselves. Because the truth is, there's what we call compatibility and communication between couples in relationship. It's not there if you arrange these marriages. It's not, we can adjust with time, yeah. But then in most cases, we just fake the whole thing. That and that brings us to the point where people even have to cheat on their partners and all. So there's just a lot with it. It's a very broad topic,
It is very
So
broad.
I just wanted
Thank
to add.
you. Yeah, thank you for that.
It's something.
The whole thing is that is
Sorry.
matchmaking the same as arranged
Can I
marriage.
just chip in something?
Yeah. Yes, ma. Before we leave.
Yeah. Thank you for what you just. I'm being careful because we're on social media, and then because I don't people, some people stay on FYP and stuff, and I've been able to and you don't know who is listening. So,
Yeah.
and I've been in a situation whereby I have people, this kind of topics and kind of people has, gone through my hand in terms of talking to them, giving advice and stuff. So I'm just trying to be careful so that they don't think, oh, maybe she's sharing or is sharing their story out there. So I love what he said. Some of them are getting into that relationship because of the family. And the most people that suffer in that is the female, because it sometimes is so annoying that some will go out there, the men will go out there having another family entirely. And the woman cannot, because the woman is trying to keep the image of their own family. You understand? So, and then I have so many cases. Even there was one that told the person, I don't want to use he or she. The person told me that would rather be without marry, because I don't know, because I can't use he or she, so I'm being so would rather stay single. And as I'm talking now, the person is about 35, 36, because he doesn't want to take it. So, and anytime I said, okay, you can, and if he or she tried it, he or she is going to lose. It's the family.
Wow.
So she will have to be like a outcast in their own community, in their country, in their among the family and stuff. And so I would rather be. You understand? So many people, and the female part is the one that is so annoying, because even some men, they don't like it.
Yeah.
But because of and that is why I am not, like someone was typing here earlier that there is difference between arranged and forced, which is true. There is two different things.
Sometimes it
And
cuts
that's why
across the two,
UK government try to address it and put law in place to stop it. Because and they let them know that if you want to do that, go to your country and practice your culture or law.
In fact,
That's
if you're a UK
but here,
citizen,
no.
yeah. Sorry, ma, to cut you. If you're a UK citizen and you're tricked to go to another country and they now do this arranged marriage or forced marriage, you're still liable to the law.
Yes.
Yeah. So it's not an easy thing like that. There's some culture. I mean, there's no legal implication
Yeah,
or what. But not everywhere.
sis, but it's so funny that these people, because they're still doing it, it's so funny that their young ones are dying, their children are dying inside because they don't want to report their parents.
Yeah.
And they rather stay single. So it's painful.
It is. Wow.
And they are here
Say,
in UK. And they're thinking about the family value as well. They don't want to, mess it up. So
Wow.
thank you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Ma. Thank you. I mean, this topic, we can go on and on and on and talk about it. It's even getting more interesting, but I'm mindful of the time. Thank you, everyone. Thank you. Honestly, I'm not sure whether I will sleep early tonight because I'm digesting what everybody have said. You know, when you bring this topic, you don't know what dynamics is going to bring when people start talking from their experiences, from what they know. But I've learned a lot here today, and I'm sure everyone on the FY who has listened in has learned one or two things. But above all, we know that whether arranged marriage or a love marriage, as I called it, whichever one, the key to a successful marriage and a fulfilling relationship, it lies with having mutual respect for one another, understanding one another, and committing, to building together. Because fine, you cannot cry over spilled milk. Okay, now you found yourself in there. You said I do, because marriage is supposed to be till death do us part. You were once ignorant, you just went by, okay, your parents say this, your family said this, and now you're in it, especially those in it. You can still turn things around, except for maybe health issues, or when you're now going through DVs or DAs. No, that's a different thing altogether. But above all, marriage is hard work. Marriage is hard work. So whether it's been arranged for you or you're going into it by yourself, I hope you're mentally prepared. You're mentally, emotionally prepared for marriage, because it's not for boys and girls. It's for mature man, mature woman to go into. And that's why it takes a lot. Some people are not ready for what it takes. Transitions in marriage you're going to go through. Once upon a time is you and your husband, and then the children start coming in, another cultural transition, another physical all of those things. It takes a lot. And I pray that God will help all of us, to enjoy our marriages and not endure. That's my prayer. So thank you for all your submissions, all the giftings, likings, sharings. Thank you so much. I really appreciate everyone. Thank you for joining in. Till I come your way on Monday, 8 p.m. with a fresh general topic, not marriage related, I guess. I remain yours truly, FunmiRoyal. Do have yourself a wonderful, wonderful night rest. And please, my puzzle, I'm bringing it back next week. Thank you, lover of good things. I don't know, you came a bit late, but thank you so much for joining. I really appreciate you. So I'll tell you one more, the puzzle again, so that you can go and do your research because of heat. No. Why is it so hot in hell? Why is it so hot in hell? Go and do your research. And hopefully next Thursday, by the grace of God, you will get the answer and you get to get the gift. Thank you guys so much. Have a lovely, lovely night rest. God bless you.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bringing hope and make you feel alright.
Thank you, guys.
Yeah, I don't know. Can we
Yeah.
connect? Yeah, I was asking if I could connect with you.
Oh yes, please. Everyone can connect to one another here on
I already
Instagram.
followed you, so I would have loved to send an inbox as well. So I was just asking.
Okay, please do. The thing is that I think I've reached my 10,000 limit. I was trying to see who has unfollowed me, so I take them off as well. But yeah, I will try. As soon as I find space, I keep adding the new ones. So thank you so much. Let's follow one another here. It's okay. Thank you.
All right, it's fine.
For your
Thank you.
contribution. Have a lovely night rest as well.
Yeah.
Thank you, Mrs. Williams. Thank you. Daily Pay with our Sister Lydia. God bless you. One love. Thank you. Thank you. Onoye, thank you. If you're still listening, God bless you. I'll see you on Monday. Goodbye. Oh, Mrs. Williams live. Yeah, please, guys. Mrs. Williams live on Sunday, 6 p.m. Don't forget. how to be yourself unapologetically, or be yourself unapologetically. I can't wait, part 2. So guys, please be there on Sunday live. Thank you guys. Thank you. Have a lovely night's rest.